Want to learn an hour of fun facts? Subscribe to Zarpado. We're starting now. In the humid regions of Southeast Asia lives a unique reptile known as Hydrosaurus, famous for its size and aquatic abilities. This lizard, found in places like the Philippines and Indonesia, thrives both on land and in aquatic environments. What distinguishes it most is a striking structure adorning its back, an elongated crest that gives it an imposing appearance. And look how adorable it is when it's relaxing. Philippe Conticini's colossal croissant reimagines the traditional French pastry in a gigantic format. Designed to be enjoyed by groups, this golden delicacy becomes the star of breakfasts, snacks, or brunches. More than just a simple bread, it's a work of edible art with perfectly flaky layers and an intense buttery flavor. Wallace's frog, also known as the flying frog, lives in Southeast Asia and has a talent that seems straight out of a comic book. Thanks to the membranes between its legs, it can glide from tree to tree as if it had wings. It can travel up to 50 feet in a single leap, controlling its direction in the air. This trick helps you escape predators and move without touching the jungle floor. Orchids are true masters of deception. Some species have developed flowers that mimic female insects, both in shape and smell. Males, when attempting to mate with them, end up covered in pollen. In this way, they transport the pollen to other flowers, ensuring the plant's reproduction without realizing it. Ben Underwood was an American boy who lost his sight at a very young age, but he amazed the world with a unique ability. He used echolocation, clicking his tongue and listening to the echo to navigate. He could avoid obstacles, recognize objects, and even ride a bicycle. His case demonstrated the human brain's incredible capacity to adapt. Glass Beach, a beach that seems like a hidden treasure, is located in California. For years, it was a dumping ground for bottles and glass objects worn away by the sea. The result is a shore covered in small, shiny, smooth fragments resembling colored stones. Today, it's a popular tourist spot, although it's prohibited to take the glass away. The Falabella horse breed is so small it looks like something out of a fairy tale. Native to Argentina, these horses measure less than 31 inches in height. Despite their size, they are elegant and docile, making them beloved animals. Seeing one in person is like stumbling upon a pocket-sized horse. The bull shark is one of the ocean's most surprising species. Unlike most sharks, it can live in both saltwater and freshwater. This allows it to swim up rivers and even into lakes, where it has sometimes been seen swimming peacefully. Its renal system adapts to changes in salinity, something very rare. In Japan, the Sagano bamboo forest is a magical place that enchants anyone who visits. Its paths are lined with towering stalks that form a natural tunnel. When the wind blows, the bamboos produce a hypnotic murmur. This sound was declared a World Sound Heritage Site for its unique beauty. Monarch butterflies make an epic journey every year from Canada to Mexico. The incredible thing is that none of them complete the entire journey. Several generations take turns until they reach the Mexican forests. Upon arrival, they covered the trees with thousands of orange and black wings, creating an unforgettable landscape. In Florida, there is the famous Coral Castle, a structure shrouded in mystery. It was built by Edward Leedskalnin, who worked in secret for 28 years. He used coral blocks weighing several tons without the aid of machinery. No one knows how he achieved it, and the enigma continues to fascinate visitors and scientists. The Basenji is a dog that breaks away from the ordinary. Unlike most, it doesn't bark, but rather emits a distinctive call that combines howls and melodious sounds. This breed, native to Central Africa, was used for hunting thanks to its stealth and agility. Today, it is prized as a pet for its independent personality. In China, beneath Lake Qiandao, lies the ancient city of Xicheng, known as the Atlantis of the East. It was submerged after the construction of a dam in 1952. At more than 130 feet underwater, its temples and sculptures remain intact thanks to the calm of the lake. Diving there is like traveling to a world frozen in time. In Australia, albino kangaroos have been sighted, resembling mythical creatures. Their white fur and pink eyes are the result of a rare genetic mutation. Although they are beautiful, their color makes them more vulnerable to predators. Seeing one up close is considered a true privilege. In Serbia, a boy named Bogdan became famous for apparently having magnetic powers. Metal objects like spoons and lids would stick to his skin without falling off. Although the explanation was scientific, his skin was unusually sticky. The phenomenon fascinated the world. He earned the nickname Magnet Boy. In Hawaii, Papakolea is a beach with seemingly magical green sand. The color comes from a volcanic mineral called olivine, which sparkles in the sun like tiny emeralds. Reaching it isn't easy, as it's in a remote area. However, those who make it say the view is unforgettable. The basilisk is a lizard that seems to defy the laws of nature. Known as the Jesus Christ lizard, it can run on water. Its hind legs trap air bubbles that allow it to take quick steps before sinking. It uses this trick to escape predators. Tsutomu Yamaguchi went down in history for having survived 2 atomic bombs. He was in Hiroshima during the first explosion in 1945 and survived. 3 days later, in Nagasaki, I experienced the second one and also survived. He spent the rest of his life telling his story and promoting peace. In England, there is the gigantic Cerny Abbas geoglyph. It depicts a naked man with a large club and is carved into a hill. Its origin is a mystery. Some believe it is Roman, others medieval. Whatever the case, it remains a symbol of power and fertility. The scary Shoara cave in Romania holds a frozen secret. Inside, it lies an underground glacier over 3,000 years old. The ice preserves valuable information about the ancient climate. Entering this cave is like traveling back in time to an ice age. African weavers are tiny birds, but true architects. They build enormous collective nests that can house hundreds of individuals. These structures are made of grasses and twigs and last for decades. They are so efficient that they regulate the temperature inside. The bat flower is one of the strangest plants in the world. Its dark petals resemble the wings of a bat, with long filaments hanging from them. It grows in tropical climates, and its mysterious appearance fascinates collectors. It looks like a flower straight out of a fantasy novel. The rockhopper penguin is a true ice creature. Its most striking feature is the golden feathers protruding from its head. During courtship, males display them to attract females. They form noisy colonies where each partner recognizes each other by their voices. The rainbow eucalyptus tree looks like a hand-painted tree. Its bark peels off in layers, revealing vibrant colors: green, orange, red, and purple. This natural phenomenon makes it one of the most beautiful trees in the world. It can grow over 230 feet tall. The pacu is a fish that surprises anyone. Although it is related to the piranha, it is not an aggressive carnivore. Its unusual feature lies in its teeth, which are flat and square, almost identical to those of a human. It has sometimes bitten unsuspecting swimmers, causing more fright than harm. On Christmas Island, millions of red crabs migrate to the sea each year. They cover roads, trails, and even gardens, transforming the landscape into a moving river. Locals build special bridges and tunnels to help them. It's one of nature's most impressive spectacles. In Turkey, there is a very special breed of cat, the Turkish van. Unlike most cats, they enjoy swimming and playing in the water. Their semi-long fur is waterproof and dries quickly. They are curious, active, and considered a national treasure. In Prague, there is an installation called the Tower of Infinite Books, a cylinder filled with books that, thanks to strategically placed mirrors, seems to have no end. Looking inside, visitors feel like they are looking at an endless library. It's more than a visual trick. It's a reminder of humanity's boundless knowledge. In Kutná Hora, Czech Republic, lies the haunting Sedlec ossuary decorated with the skeletal remains of more than 40,000 people. The bones are not piled haphazardly, but transformed into lamps, shields, and even a monumental chandelier made of skulls and femurs. It is a sight that transforms death into a macabre and fascinating art. The New Zealand kiwi is a flightless bird with tiny wings and hair-like feathers. It uses its highly developed sense of smell, rare among birds, to search for earthworms at night. Its symbolism is so strong that New Zealanders are known worldwide as Kiwis. In Iceland, there are hot springs so hot that they allow cooking without pots or fire. Simply dip eggs directly into the boiling river water for a natural breakfast. Visitors and locals enjoy this unique phenomenon while admiring breathtaking volcanic landscapes. In China, cats have been documented with genetic mutations that cause them to grow extra skin and fur on their backs, resembling small wings. Although they don't allow them to fly, they spark superstitions. Some believe they bring good luck. Others see them as magical creatures. In Catalonia, Spain, the tradition of castells, where hundreds of people form human towers that reach up to 100 feet high, is celebrated. This practice, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, requires strength, coordination, and absolute confidence. The most exciting moment occurs when a child climbs to the top to crown the tower. The Caribbean is home to the hypnotic fireworm, a marine animal covered in white bristles that glow like embers. But its beauty is deceptive. These bristles contain poison that causes painful burns upon contact. Divers from all over the world observe it with caution and admiration. The praying mantis holds its front legs as if praying, but in reality it is a relentless hunter. It remains motionless for hours before pouncing on its prey with surprising speed. It can even feed on other mantises, blending apparent spirituality with a lethal instinct. In Iceland, Reynisfjara is a beach of black volcanic sand that seems out of this world. Its basalt cliffs form columns similar to a stone cathedral, while the Atlantic crashes down forcefully. It is a place as beautiful as it is dangerous, where nature shows its wildest side. Wolfia globosa, or water rice, is the smallest flower on the planet, just 0.04 of an inch in size. Although it looks like a simple floating green dot, it contains high levels of protein and antioxidants. In several Asian countries, it is eaten in soups and stews, proving that small can be very powerful. In Azerbaijan, there are volcanoes that do not expel lava, but rather cold, bubbling mud. This phenomenon occurs due to the pressure of underground gases that force gray mud to the surface. Although not lethal, they can suddenly release gases and transform entire landscapes into boiling seas of mud. Some genetic mutations have led to the birth of four-legged chickens on farms around the world. Many do not survive or have difficulty walking, but some manage to adapt and grow. These cases spark the curiosity of scientists who study how small embryonic variations produce surprising results. In the Solomon Islands, a sea turtle capable of glowing red and green under ultraviolet light was discovered. This phenomenon, called biofluorescence, is extremely rare in reptiles. Its discovery opened up new possibilities for studying light in nature. In Africa, giant African rats are trained to detect landmines. Thanks to their keen sense of smell and light weight, they locate explosives without detonating them. They have saved thousands of lives by working alongside demining teams, becoming silent heroes. Snails have their eyes on the tips of tentacles that extend from their heads. Although they can only distinguish light and shadow, they combine their vision with a fine sense of smell to navigate and find food. Their appearance makes them look like miniature alien creatures. How long can you hold your breath? Because Croatian Budimir Šobat challenged human limits. On March 27, 2021, he broke the world record with 24 minutes and 37 seconds underwater. In Greece, Meteora is a group of monasteries built on gigantic rock formations. From a distance, they appear to float in the air, offering a mystical landscape. For centuries, they were a refuge for monks seeking peace and spiritual isolation. In Egypt, a mummy with its mouth open was found, nicknamed the Screaming Mummy. Its expression has generated theories. Some believe it died in agony, others that it was due to decomposition. Whatever the truth, its appearance remains one of the most disturbing mysteries of ancient Egypt. A 20-year-old young man founded the Free Republic of Virtus in a territory between Croatia and Serbia. He created a flag, a passport, a cabinet, and currency, eventually gathering hundreds of citizens. Although he was arrested and expelled, he continues to govern from exile. In Suriname, there lives a toad whose female carries her eggs embedded in the skin of her back. There, they develop protected until they emerge as toadlets ready to live. This process turns the mother into a living nursery, one of nature's rarest strategies. In Africa and the Middle East, many people use miswak, a twig from the Salvadora persica tree, as a toothbrush. When bitten, its fibers open and clean the teeth, in addition to containing natural antibacterial properties, an ancient technique that is still used today. The Aldrovanda vesiculosa is a carnivorous plant that lives underwater. Its leaves act as tiny traps that close in milliseconds upon detecting movement. It feeds on aquatic insects and small crustaceans, an example of surprising adaptation. In the South American rainforest, there is a butterfly known as the 88 butterfly, due to the pattern on its wings that mimics that number. Its natural design is not only hypnotic but also serves as camouflage against predators. It has become a symbol of beauty in several countries. In Nigeria, the Igbo Ora people have the highest twin birth rate in the world. Scientists believe genetic factors and a yam-rich diet play a role. For the inhabitants, it is a blessing they proudly celebrate. The anti-gravity Aoni is the first drone to record in 8K at 360 degrees without leaving blind spots. Its system makes the drone itself disappear from the footage, generating immersive shots. With gesture and gaze control, it opens up incredible possibilities for filming concerts, weddings, or festivals. The Barbie doll is not only a fashion icon, she also has a full name that few know: Barbie Millicent Roberts. Created in 1959 by Ruth Handler, she became a global inspiration by showcasing different professions, cultures, and styles. A single drop of oil can be devastating to the planet. Although it seems insignificant, it can contaminate up to 6.6 gallons of water. When it falls into rivers, seas, or lakes, it expands, creating a film that blocks sunlight and oxygen. This damage affects aquatic ecosystems and can take decades to repair. Anteaters have a rather peculiar daily menu. They can eat more than 35,000 ants in a single day. Their long, sticky tongue, combined with their keen sense of smell, makes them very efficient hunters. Beyond their voracious appetite, they play a vital role in controlling insect populations. Cats seem to be masters of rest. They spend more than 70% of their lives sleeping, taking short naps during the day. This ability stems from their hunting instinct, as they need to conserve energy for hunting time. Sleeping allows them to regain strength, strengthen their immune system, and process everything they've experienced. The carrots we know today as orange were once a deep purple. The change occurred in the 17th century in the Netherlands, when farmers began growing orange carrots as a tribute to the House of Orange, the Dutch royal family. Seed selection led to sweeter, more resilient carrots, which led to their global popularity. Did you know that when we wake up, we are a little workshop? During sleep, the spine relaxes and the disc between the vertebrae expand due to the lack of pressure. This allows us to gain up to ½ an inch in height. As the day progresses, gravity compresses the spine again, and we return to our normal height. To produce a single quart bottle of soda, around 50 gallons of water are needed. This includes the cultivation of ingredients like sugarcane and corn, as well as the entire cleaning, blending, and bottling process. Although it may seem incredible, the water cost is much higher than we imagine when we open a bottle. There is a magical flower known as the skeleton flower or ghost flower. Native to Japan and some regions of the United States, its petals become transparent upon contact with water. In addition to its striking appearance, it has been used in traditional medicine to treat inflammation and pain. Due to its rarity, it is important to protect it. Astronauts are fortunate enough to see 15 sunrises and 15 sunsets each day from the International Space Station. This happens because the spacecraft orbits the Earth every 90 minutes at high speed. Thus, in a single day, they can observe more changes in light than any of us see in weeks. Elephants are the only animals with 4 true knees. Their front legs have upper and lower joints that resemble our knees. This allows them to support their enormous weight and walk with greater stability. This adaptation makes them unique in the animal kingdom. There is a myth that losing your pinky finger reduces arm strength by half, but this is not true. Although each finger plays an important role in hand dexterity, arm strength comes from muscles and joints. Losing your pinky finger does affect ability in some tasks, but it doesn't diminish overall strength that much. It has often been said that polar bears are left-handed, but in reality, there is inconclusive evidence for this. Studies indicate that they don't have a dominant paw, but rather use both with equal skill. The truth is that their powerful claws and strength allow them to hunt and swim without relying on a single limb. If you do the math, we spend approximately 25 years of our lives sleeping. Although it may seem excessive, sleep is essential for repairing the body and processing daily information. Sleeping between 7 and 9 hours is key to staying healthy. So, getting a good night's sleep is an investment in our health and longevity. Penguins have an amazing ability to manage the salt in their environment. They have special glands near their eyes that remove excess salt when they drink seawater. These glands expel the salt in the form of droplets from their noses, allowing them to survive in marine environments where fresh water is unavailable. The internet giant Google hides a curious story behind its name. Many people believe it comes from the word Google, which represents 1 followed by 100 zeros, but that's not the whole truth. In reality, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, while graduating students at Stanford in 1998, decided to name their search engine Google because it reflected their mission: to organize the enormous amount of information on the internet. Hummingbirds are tiny birds that defy the laws of nature with the movement of their wings. They can beat them 50 to 80 times per second, allowing them to hover in the air like miniature helicopters. They even have the ability to fly backward, something very few birds in the world can achieve. Shrimp hides an anatomical feature that surprises many. They have a heart in their head. Unlike humans, whose heart is in their chest, these crustaceans have evolved with a different system. Its heart, called the branchial heart, pumps hemolymph, a blood-like fluid, throughout its entire body. It consists of a simple dorsal tube that pumps blood to the gills to oxygenate it. In 2013, Red Bull faced a lawsuit that seemed like a joke. A group of consumers accused the company of deceptive advertising because, after drinking the famous energy drink, they had not developed the promised wings of their slogan. Incredibly, the company had to pay $13 million in compensation. Each consumer received about $10, demonstrating that marketing can become problematic when metaphors are taken too seriously. In Argentina, paleontologists discovered a unique dinosaur species in 2021, the Eucharcharis allocranianus. This predator, which lived around 85 million years ago, was about 16 feet long and had a very peculiar skull. Its head was helmet-shaped and had 2 large openings that, according to experts, could have been used to emit sounds or lighten its weight. Coffee, that morning favorite, can also be dangerous in excess. 1 cup contains an average of 95 milligrams of caffeine, and for this substance to be fatal, you would have to drink around 100 cups in 4 hours. This is practically impossible, but it demonstrates the stimulating power of this substance. In the United States, within Yellowstone National Park, there is a very peculiar geyser called Old Faithful. Its fame comes from the precision with which it erupts, approximately every 90 minutes. This natural spectacle attracts thousands of tourists who wait patiently to see it shoot jets of boiling water into the air. In the Australian city of Coober Pedy, many people live underground. The reason? The scorching desert heat, which exceeds 113 degrees Fahrenheit in summer. These underground homes are cool, comfortable, and even stylishly decorated. Interestingly, in addition to being shelters from the heat, they are also part of the local cultural identity. Hidden in the Philippines is the world's longest navigable underground river, the Puerto Princesa River. This waterway flows beneath a limestone mountain, creating dreamy caves and natural passageways. Visitors can take a boat ride and admire the unique rock formations that nature has patiently carved. It's like entering a secret underground world. Zhangjiajie National Park in China was the inspiration for the floating landscapes in the film Avatar, ASU. Its stone mountains resemble giant columns rising into the sky, covered in vegetation. When James Cameron saw them in person, he was so amazed that he decided to recreate them on Pandora. Today, thousands of tourists travel there to feel like they're in a movie. The largest glacier outside the poles is located in Canada, on Baffin Island. It stretches over 2,600 square miles and resembles a frozen ocean that never ends. Its immensity and beauty make it an incredible destination for adventurers seeking to experience the most extreme landscapes on the planet. It's a reminder of how powerful nature can be. In Malaysia, there's a suspension bridge that's not suitable for those with vertigo. The Langkawi Sky Bridge is suspended more than 2,300 feet above sea level and offers spectacular views of the ocean and nearby islands. It's 410 feet long and appears to float between the mountains. Crossing it is an experience as exciting as it is terrifying. In South Korea, there's a very unusual park called Loveland, dedicated to erotic art. Located on Jeju Island, it features more than 140 sculptures that artistically represent love and sexuality. The idea is to break taboos and encourage a more open view of these topics. The city of Prague, in the Czech Republic, boasts one of the most amazing clocks in the world. The astronomical clock not only tells the time, but also displays the position of the sun, the moon, and even the zodiac signs. Every hour, mechanical figures move and put on a small spectacle. In Tokyo, Japan, the Shibuya crossing is famous for being one of the busiest on the planet. When the light turns green, thousands of people cross in all directions at the same time. In just a few seconds, the street becomes a perfectly organized sea of people. Every year in the Serengeti of Tanzania, one of the most impressive animal migrations in the world takes place. More than 1 million wildebeest and zebras move in search of fresh grass, closely followed by predators such as lions, leopards, and crocodiles. This phenomenon turns the park into a vibrant and life-filled landscape. Namibia is home to the tallest sand dunes on the planet, some reaching up to 1,000 feet in height. The most famous is Dune 45, a site that seems out of this world. These formations have been created over millions of years by wind and erosion. In the city of Marrakesh, Morocco, lies the Medina, an ancient walled city that seems frozen in time. Its narrow streets, bustling markets, and colorful handicrafts make it a magical place. Walking through it is like immersing yourself in a labyrinth filled with scents, sounds, and colors. In the heart of Marrakesh lies the famous Jama El Fna Square, a place where life never stops. Street performers, food stalls, and exotic aromas fill every corner. It is a vibrant space that pulses with Moroccan culture and has become a symbol of the city. Istanbul, in Turkey, has a special charm. It belongs to two continents at the same time. The Bosphorus divides the city, joining the Sea of Marmara with the Black Sea, and over it rises a bridge that connects Europe and Asia. In South Africa, Kruger National Park is a nature lover's paradise. There you can see Africa's famous Big Five: lion, leopard, elephant, rhinoceros, and buffalo. Seeing them in their natural habitat is a breathtaking experience. The archerfish, known as the aquatic robin hood, has developed an astonishing hunting technique. It can shoot jets of water from its mouth with such precision that it knocks down insects perched on branches. This ability makes him a master marksman within the animal kingdom. On Mars rises Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the entire solar system. Its size is 3 times the size of Mount Everest, and it has a diameter of 370 miles. Formed by ancient eruptions, it is a geological giant that speaks to the volcanic history of the red planet. The dung beetle, known for rolling balls of dung, hides a surprising secret. It navigates using the light of the Milky Way, something few animals can do. Thanks to the stars, it manages to move its cargo in a straight line, even in complete darkness. For years, the okapi was considered a legendary, almost mythological creature. It wasn't until 1901 that science confirmed its existence in the jungles of the Congo. This animal combines features of a giraffe and a zebra with an elongated body and striped legs. Today, it is in danger of extinction, reminding us how fragile the wonders of nature are. Jason Paget's story seems like something out of a movie. After being hit on the head during a mugging, he developed extraordinary mathematical skills. He began to see the world in geometric patterns and was able to draw complex fractals from memory. His case is studied by scientists because it shows how the brain can unlock hidden talents after a drastic change. New Guinea is home to the giant queen ant, considered the largest on the planet. It can reach 1 inch in length, and its jaws are enormous. Despite their imposing size, they are generally peaceful and feed on insects and fruit. A single female can lay up to 1 million eggs in her lifetime. Each tiger is unique thanks to the stripes that cover its body, resembling fingerprints. This pattern not only helps researchers identify them, but also helps them camouflage themselves in the jungle. The stripes reveal information about their health and genetics. Salmon are able to remember the scent of the river in which they were born. This highly developed sense of smell allows them to return to the exact same place to spawn. They spend years in the ocean, but always return to their source. In Senegal, there is a deep pink lake called Retba. This hue is due to microorganisms that produce reddish pigments in the water. Its appearance varies with the seasons, becoming brighter in the dry season. In China, there is the famous Heaven's Gate, a natural arch carved into the rock. When the base of the mountain is covered by clouds, it appears to float in the air. This phenomenon creates the illusion of standing in front of a mystical portal, suspended in the sky, a perfect destination for adventurers and dreamers. In Chihuahua, Mexico, is the Cave of Giant Crystals. Huge selenite crystals form there, some measuring up to 40 feet in length. The site was discovered in 1,000 feet underground. Although Egypt is famous for its pyramids, Sudan is the country with the most in the world. Nubia has more than 250 pyramids, twice as many as Egypt. Although less well known, they are equally fascinating. They are surrounded by mountains and deserts, creating a mystical landscape. In Japan, there is an island known as Rabbit Island. Its name is Okunoshima, and it is inhabited by hundreds of rabbits that roam freely. Visitors can feed and play with them. It has become a very cute and popular tourist destination. In Australia, in Uluru Kata Tajuta National Park, there is a rock shaped like a giant heart. Known as the Heart of Uluru, it looks like a natural symbol in the middle of the desert. The most surprising thing is that it changes color in the daylight. The horseshoe crab is one of the oldest animals on the planet, having existed for more than 450 million years. It is not a true crab, but it has survived mass extinctions. Their blue blood is invaluable in medicine as it detects dangerous toxins. The tiny but colorful peacock spider lives in Australia. Males display a bright fan reminiscent of a peacock's tail. This ritual is part of their courtship display to attract females. Despite their extravagant appearance, they are harmless to humans. Mist is an atmospheric phenomenon that occurs when cold air becomes saturated with water. It forms near mountains and valleys, reducing visibility without becoming as dense as fog. Its appearance lends a mysterious air to landscapes. Seeing it among the mountains is an unforgettable natural spectacle. In 1787, an American watchmaker named Levi Hutchins invented the first personal alarm clock. Curiously, this device could only ring at 4 o'clock in the morning. Hutchins designed it exclusively to fulfill his work routine and ensure he woke up early. A graduate student named Julian Melchiori created something amazing: the first human-made biological leaf. This artificial leaf is capable of absorbing water and carbon dioxide to produce oxygen, just like a real plant. The most interesting thing is that it doesn't need soil or special nutrients to function. There is a fascinating phenomenon in people on the verge of death called terminal lucidity. Suddenly, seriously ill patients seem to regain strength, have mental clarity, speak enthusiastically, or even walk. Although not entirely explained, it is believed to be due to changes in blood flow or brain chemicals. The Tom and Jerry series debuted in 1940s and captivated millions of viewers with its eternal cat-and-mouse rivalry. Most surprisingly, it won 7 Oscars for Best Animated Short Film. No other series has matched this record. The McDonald's logo is recognized worldwide for its yellow arches, except in one very particular location. In the city of Sedona, Arizona, the emblem is turquoise blue. The reason for this is aesthetic. The yellow color clashed with the reddish landscape of the mountains surrounding the location. Our senses of taste recognize 5 flavors: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. The latter, lesser known, comes from Japanese and means delicious essence. It has a meaty, savory flavor, present in foods like tomato, Parmesan cheese, and soy sauce. Interestingly, breast milk contains umami, which means we taste it from birth. Amazon, the e-commerce giant, would suffer colossal losses if its website were down for even a day. It is estimated that the company generates around $15 million in sales every hour. In 24 hours, the losses would reach around $360 million. It is often said that small fish have a memory of barely 2 minutes. This means they never get bored in a fish tank, as each time they go around it seems like a new experience. However, that doesn't mean they don't need a suitable environment. Plants, hiding places, and companions are vital for them to live healthy and active lives, even if they forget what they did a moment ago. Synthetic clouds exist and are an innovation to combat climate change. They are formed by releasing particles into the atmosphere that reflect solar radiation and cool the Earth. They are basically water vapor that, when condensed, can cause rain over time. This type of experiment seeks to artificially control the climate, although it generates much scientific debate. Although it may seem like a joke, dogs in New Zealand have been trained to drive cars. A rescue organization taught them as part of a campaign to showcase canine intelligence. The training lasted 7 weeks and allowed several of them to drive on a closed circuit. The most shocking thing is that these dogs had been abandoned and thus found a second chance. Your foot measures exactly the same as the distance between your wrist and your elbow. Although it's not always the case, the ratio is surprisingly accurate for most people. It's one of those oddities of the human body that leaves us wondering. Maybe you'd like to see for yourself right now. Dark chocolate melts at about 90 to 93 degrees Fahrenheit, exactly our body temperature. That's why, when you put it in your mouth, it melts so smoothly. This detail makes it one of the most delicious experiences for the palate. Plus, its antioxidant properties make it even more irresistible. Mice, like children, enjoy games like hide and seek. Research shows that they chase, jump, and hide from each other as a form of fun. These games aren't just entertainment. They help their physical and social development. In a way, mice also know how to enjoy their free time. Russian Valentina Vasilyeva holds the record for being the woman with the most children in history. Between 1725 and 1765, she gave birth to 69 children in 27 deliveries. Most survived childhood, incredible for that time. Centuries later, in 2021, a woman in Mali shocked the world by giving birth to 9 babies in a single delivery. The Scooby-Doo series was born with a hidden purpose: to show that the real monsters are human. Behind every terrifying creature, there was always a person with evil intentions. This idea conveyed a powerful message about human nature and its deceptions. Piranhas, famous for their ferocity, also surprise with their sounds. Researchers discovered that they make barking noises when they confront each other. They produce up to 3 different types of sounds, each with a purpose: to compete, intimidate, or defend food. In Japan, falling asleep in public is not considered shameful. On the contrary, it's seen as a sign of extreme effort and dedication. This habit has a name, inamuri, which means being present while sleeping. Thus, someone sleeping on the subway is respected as someone who has worked hard. In the city of Trondheim, Norway, they created a solution for the steep streets: a bicycle lift. Called cyclo-cable, it works like a conveyor belt on which you rest your foot. It pushes bicycles and even baby strollers uphill at 2 miles per hour. Starbucks spends more money on its employees' health insurance than on buying coffee. It invests around $300 million a year on this benefit. The strategy seeks to take care of its employees, improve their well-being, and ensure their loyalty. A brilliant idea called the Human Library was born in Denmark. Instead of books, people can lend them to other human beings for half an hour. During this time, they share their life experiences, fostering empathy and dialogue. Imagine a bridge made only of wooden poles, without nails, glue, or ropes, yet it remains firm. It's the self-supporting bridge, popularized by Leonardo da Vinci. Each piece rests on top of another, creating a self-locking system. The more weight you put on it, the more stable it becomes, like a balancing act that defies gravity. There's one bone in your body that no other bone touches: the hyoid bone. It floats beneath the jaw, supported by muscles and ligaments, and is essential for speaking, swallowing, and breathing. Forensic scientists study it in strangulation cases, and its evolution is linked to human language. Next time you speak, remember that this tiny bone is a silent hero. Under Hampton Roads Harbor in Virginia, there's a tunnel that looks like something out of a movie. The Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel was built with floating sections that were then sunk and sealed into the seabed. It's part of a vital highway connecting several cities. Extreme engineering and cinema combine in this underwater project, where creativity and technique collide. In the middle of the Sahara, a fish defies logic: the immortal fish. It can bury itself in dry mud for months or years, breathing through its skin and waiting for rain. Some species, like the Clarius garimpinus, EZA, walk on wet land using their fins. Solving a Rubik's Cube can take a human hour, but a robot called Sub-1 Reloaded does it in 0.38 seconds. Its ultra-fast cameras and processors calculate the perfect solution, while its mechanical arms rotate the cube with Jedi-like precision. Goalkeeper gloves are more than an accessory. They're secret weapons. Made of high-grip latex, they can stop balls traveling at over 62 miles per hour. Some incorporate ribs to protect the fingers and special cuts tailored to the player's style. They're part glove, part shield, and allow a goalkeeper to transform every save into elite strategy. When the Earth's crust shifts, it releases brutal energy in the form of earthquakes. In Burma, the Sanjin's fault shifted up to 20 feet in seconds, completely altering the landscape. This type of shift can lift mountains or submerge regions. The Earth literally shows its strength, reminding us that the continents are not fixed, but in constant tension. On some beaches, silverfish perform a synchronized dance during reproduction. Between March and August, the females bury themselves in the sand while the males fertilize the eggs in seconds. Then they disappear like marine ninjas, letting the tide do the rest. It's a natural lunar spectacle that turns the sand into an ephemeral dance floor. High in the Tian Shan Mountains in China, a village was isolated for decades. Its inhabitants, tired of waiting for help, dug a 3/4-mile tunnel by hand into the rock. Today, it is the only access route in a stunning tourist destination. This human feat proves that determination can literally carve paths into rock. In Cameron Air Park, California, cars have taken a back seat. Neighbors use airplanes to get from home to the store. Each home has a hangar garage and direct access to the runway. Leaving the living room and taking off is as simple as grabbing a loaf of bread. This community uniquely combines lifestyle and aviation, making propellers the new neighborhood noise. Did you know we're more creative in the shower? Hot water relaxes, clears the mind, and stimulates dopamine production. When we're isolated from technological distractions, thoughts flow more freely. That's why many of the best ideas are born while we're lathering up. A computer that runs on water droplets was created at Stanford University. It takes advantage of ionic properties to process information without relying on conventional electricity. Although it's slower than traditional ones, it represents a step towards sustainable computing. The future could be written in water molecules. Marvel even came up with something unusual, reviving Princess Diana as a mutant in a comic book series. The project, planned in 2002, depicted the princess as part of the X-Men universe. However, when the idea leaked, the British media reacted furiously. Ultimately, the character was replaced by a fictional pop star. Koalas share a curious similarity with humans: their fingerprints. They are so similar that even under a microscope, they are difficult to distinguish. This unique trait is formed during gestation and persists throughout life, a perfect example of how evolution can create unexpected parallels. Inventor and futurist Ray Kurzweil claims that humanity will achieve immortality by 2030. According to him, artificial intelligence and biotechnology will make it possible to repair the body at the cellular level. Machines will fight disease and reverse aging. It sounds like science fiction, but for many it is a possible future. The Zarpado, also known as rodeo, is an adrenaline-filled spectacle where the physical and mental prowess of the riders is put to the test. These brave riders must ride bulls or horses of enormous strength, fighting to stay on them while performing violent and unpredictable movements. The interesting thing is that it's not just a competition, but a deeply cultural tradition. On Instagram, there's an account called Gobi that showcases an art form as curious as it is hypnotic: pyrography. This technique uses heat to delicately burn wood and form designs full of detail and realism. Her works combine precision and contemporary style, creating unique pieces that seem to come alive on the surface. The best part is that you can see not only the results, but also the step-by-step creative process, which captivates art and craft lovers. You may think you're looking at an Alaskan landscape, but it's actually Ciudad Madera in Chihuahua, Mexico. This place is known for being the coldest municipality in the country, located at an altitude of about 6,600 feet. During the winter, temperatures can drop to 28 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, with heavy snowfalls that paint everything around them white. Exfoliation is much more than a cosmetic step. It's almost like giving your skin new life. It involves removing dead cells that accumulate on the surface layer, restoring freshness and softness to the face and body. It can be done physically with particles that polish the skin, or with acids like glycolic and salicylic that dissolve impurities. The result is luminous skin, receptive to treatments, and with an immediate feeling of renewal. In ancient Egypt, mummification was considered the key to eternal life. The process was complex. Organs such as the brain and viscera were removed and stored in special vessels, while the heart was sometimes replaced with a sacred amulet. The body was then dehydrated with natron, a natural salt that preserved it for centuries. Finally, it was wrapped in bandages, impregnated with oils and resins, becoming a body ready for the journey to the afterlife. The Rottweiler is one of those dog breeds that impress at first sight, with its size and strength. Originally from Germany, this muscular dog can weigh between 75 and 130 pounds and measure up to 27 inches in height. Its coat is short, black and shiny, decorated with tan markings on its chest, face, and legs that give it an imposing air. But beyond its appearance, it stands out as a hard-working, loyal, and protective dog, ideal for herding or guarding. Technology also surprises with inventions like Stan, a robot designed to park cars without human intervention. It works thanks to sensors, cameras, and artificial intelligence algorithms that allow it to identify available spaces and maneuver with precision. It can turn, reverse, and place vehicles in tight spots without risk of damaging them, something that many drivers consider a miracle. In Yosemite National Park, California, there is a natural phenomenon so spectacular it seems like magic, the firefall. Every February, for a few very specific days, the sun aligns at sunset with Horsetail Fall. The light illuminates the flow of water with red and orange hues, giving the illusion that the waterfall is on fire. In the Netherlands, there is the Corpus Museum, a unique experience that allows you to tour the inside of a giant human body. There you walk among organs, systems, and neurons while learning how the body works. At 115 feet high and featuring interactive technology, entering is like taking a trip yourself. In Cozumel, Mexico, a tourist submarine called Atlantis Submarines takes you to the bottom of the sea without getting wet. It descends to 100 feet, revealing reefs, tropical fish, and a sunken ship. It has air conditioning, large windows, and has become a popular attraction, even visited by celebrities. In Bogota, Colombia, there's a Simpsons house converted into an Airbnb called Simpsonlandia. Everything is decorated like the show. The living room sofa, the kitchen, Bart and Lisa's bedrooms, and even hidden references in every corner. Spending the night there is like stepping into Springfield. Japan created the electric salt spoon, a spoon that makes you taste salt without actually having it. It sends small electrical impulses to the tongue, activating salty taste receptors. It's designed for people who need to reduce sodium and is already being tested in restaurants to offer healthier dishes. In China, there are public restrooms with smart urinals that can analyze your health in seconds. They detect glucose, protein, and other indicators, displaying the results on screen or sending them to your phone. Some models even store the user's digital medical history. Pitcher plants, also called nepenthes, look like cups, but they are death traps. Their interior contains a sweet liquid that attracts insects and small animals, but once they enter, they cannot escape. Some have been found to digest frogs and even small rodents. In Dubai, the P7 license plate was auctioned for $15 million, making it the most expensive in the world. Having just a few letters or numbers on a license plate is a status symbol greater than the car itself. For many, it's a way to show off wealth at its finest. In Portugal, the Alcobaça Monastery has a very peculiar entrance, the fat sticking door. It was so narrow that it served to control the monks' diet, as anyone who didn't pass through had to fast longer. Today, tourists pass through it as a fun challenge. Crows have a curious method for getting rid of parasites. They lie down in anthills and wait for ants to walk on them. These release formic acid, a natural anti-parasitic that cleans them. Other birds like blackbirds and starlings also use this strange ant bath. A baby named Tadeus Daniel Pierce was born in 2024 from an embryo frozen since 1994. He spent 30 years preserved before being implanted, setting a world record. His case raises debates about biotechnology, fertility, and even the possibility of embryos waiting centuries to be born. There is a helicopter that costs as much as a new car. The composite FXX can be purchased for $52,000 and comes as a kit or ready to fly. It is light, fast, and inexpensive to maintain, designed for aviation enthusiasts on a budget. Not all pineapples are yellow. There are exotic varieties like the Ruby Glow, with its deep red skin, or the Pink Glow, with its unique pink flesh. Grown in Costa Rica, they are sold as luxury fruits, and a single one can cost more than $20. Tilda Swinton is a British actress who seems to have come from another world. With ancestry dating back over 1,000 years, she studied with Princess Diana but chose an alternative artistic path. She lives in Scotland, has slept in museum glass cases, and her androgynous appearance has made her a Hollywood enigma. In Monaco, millionaires live surrounded by luxury without worrying about taxes. There is no income tax, no VAT, no taxes on wealth or capital gains. Plus, its streets lined with luxury cars, the famous Grand Prix, and the Mediterranean climate make it a dream destination. A Pixar fan built a real WALL-E after 2 years of work. He didn't use 3D printers or kits. Each piece was precisely handcrafted to move and sound like the original. Its creator didn't make it to sell, but to take it to children's hospitals and bring smiles. On Mackinac Island, Michigan, automobiles have been banned since 1898. Its cobblestone streets are reserved for bicycles, carriages, and horses, giving it a sense of a trip back in time. Victorian houses, traditional suites, and a peaceful atmosphere attract thousands of tourists each year. Jason Statham, today's action star, started out selling fake perfumes and jewelry in London. He was also a professional diver, representing England in international competitions. His big break came when Guy Ritchie cast him in a film, and he hasn't stopped since. Glass gem is a corn so colorful it looks like it's made of jewels. Its kernels shine in shades of blue, purple, gold, and green, the result of years of seed selection by a Cherokee farmer. Although it's not suitable for regular popcorn, it can be used in flour, decorations, or multicolored popcorn. The Bidoma tribe in Zimbabwe is known as the ostrich-footed tribe. Many of its members are born with a genetic condition called extradactyly, which leaves them with only 2 toes on each foot. This peculiarity helps them move easily through the jungle and mountains. In some zoos around the world, visitors end up inside cages, while tigers and lions roam free. This experience, known as an inverted zoo, offers a wild and direct encounter with the animals. In China, you can even feed them meat through the bars. In Portugal, the Peina Palace stands, a multicolored castle built on the ruins of a monastery destroyed by lightning and an earthquake. Its creator, King Ferdinand II, designed it as an architectural fantasy full of vibrant colors. Today, it is a World Heritage Site and receives millions of visitors each year. In the United Kingdom, there are trees filled with coins embedded in their trunks. This tradition, known as wishing trees, arose from the belief that they could cure illnesses or bring good fortune. Some trees hold thousands of coins, transformed into authentic sculptures of superstition and hope. The colorful stained glass windows in churches are created using an ancient technique called stained glass. It consists of joining small fragments of colored glass with lead, and when light passes through it, it projects a magical spectacle. In addition to art, they functioned as visual Bibles for those who could not read in the Middle Ages. In Seoul, South Korea, there is the Starfield Library, a free public library located in a shopping mall. It houses more than 50 books on shelves about 43 feet high that look like something out of a futuristic movie. Tourists from all over the world visit it, even if they are not book lovers. In the city of Braga, Portugal, is the sanctuary of Bom Jesus do Monte, famous for its zigzag Baroque staircase with more than 570 steps. Pilgrims often climb them on their knees as an act of faith. This World Heritage Site even preserves a hydraulic lift. In China, there are giant cockroach farms, where millions of them are raised in entire buildings. Far from being pests, they are used in traditional medicine, cosmetics, and as animal feed for their high protein content. Although many find them repulsive, they are considered a sustainable resource for the future. Tell us in the comments which of these curiosities left you the most amazed. Don't leave without subscribing, liking, and sharing for more fun facts.